Take a trip to Downton Abbey with travel expert Mark Murphy.
Well, a record 7.9 million people watched last week's season premiere of the wildly popular PBS show, Downton Abbey. And if you're a fan of the show, and even if you've never seen it, the history and the beauty of the Highclere Castle, the home featured in the show as Downton Abbey, will surprise and amaze you. And here to tell us more about it is travel expert Mark Murphy. Welcome, Mark.
Thanks, Ryan.
Welcome back.
Yeah, always good to be here.
Yeah, and now you have actually been to the Highclere Castle.
Yeah.
You have visited with the Earl and the Countess, who actually live in the castle.
Yeah, they spend some of their time in the castle, but they also spend some time away from the castle in a little bit of a smaller house. And it's called a castle, but it was really built as a manor house. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so, and this is, when was this built?
This was built in the 1800s, and so it was built by the gentleman, designed by the gentleman who built the House of Parliament. So the historical nature of the property is quite interesting.
Wow, look at those photos. Yeah. And then, how did it become part of this show?
Well, the writer and producer of the show, he's good friends with the Carnarvon family, the folks I interviewed. That house has been in their family, well, that property, since 1679, so it goes way, way back. So he decided that he wanted an Edwardian period look and feel for the setting for his show, Downton Abbey, and hence really wrote the show with Highclere Castle in mind.
Wow, what kind of like square footage are we looking at here?
You have no idea, man. I saw a good chunk of it, but it is just huge, absolutely huge. And it's interesting because some of it's shot there and some of it's shot in some other locations, even though it's that big.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is Kanye and Kim's house is actually a little bit bigger than
I think you're right.
The one they just bought, I think. But so they're actually shooting the show in the castle, in the home.
Correct.
And so there's crews going on, but people live there. How does that work?
Well, when that's going on, it's kind of organized chaos, and the folks that, the Lord and Lady, they're there. They're actually overseeing some of that. That is their home, and it isn't their family, but at the same time, they also get off property and live somewhere else.
Right, so how do people, if they want to go visit like you did, how does this happen?
Well, I mean, I'd suggest a nonstop Virgin Atlantic flight out of Chicago here. You know, get there nice and easy and refreshed, but make sure you book in advance for your tickets because it's sold out. You cannot get and see the castle until sometime in June or beyond. It opens in April and May. So you have to book in advance, you have to book the day you're going to go there, and you can't change it. Because if you try to show up, you can't see it. So that's travel tip number one, folks, so understand that.
And if you take a trip there, it's close to London, isn't it?
Yes. So, of course, London is just an amazing city. It's one of my favorite cities in the entire world. And if you get outside of London, this is in the Cotswolds. You can take a drive, take a Jaguar E-Type, and take a great drive through the countryside, come back into the city, look at the iconic sites. Here's another travel tip. Small car, big city. They'll give you, you'll rent a Mini Cooper with a guide and cruise around in the old style Mini Cooper and explore many of those iconic sites with some interesting commentary from a local native who's a bit quirky.
Is that right?
Quirky, yeah.
So you get to travel to all these amazing locations, all these different things. Where would you rank this trip or this castle? Like, is it on your to-do list before you die?
Absolutely, because look at the show. If you get into the show, get into 1 or 2 episodes of the show. It's in its 3rd season right now. 8 million people, and that's on PBS, folks. 8 million people are watching it. Huge show, huge demand. If you're watching a show like that, you want to go to that setting, and there's different companies that'll do that, like Wayfarers Walking Tours will give you a walking tour package that includes Highclere Castle, and some other folks have different programs that include the castle, but you can do it a number of different ways. Another travel tip, talk to a travel agent to book it, because there's so many opportunities in and around London that you can marry with a trip to Highclere Castle that it can become a dream trip overall that includes one of your favorite shows.
Yeah, and you brought a little opportunity for us today.
I did. My good friends at Viking River Cruises, who I've cruised with on a Paris to Normandy river cruise. Now, river cruises in general are just fantastic. They're just a great way to explore Europe. This trip is a Paris to Normandy 7-night sailing. So you're thinking, what does Paris to Normandy have to do with Highclere Castle? Well, they're the sponsors of the show, one of the big sponsors, and they have a pre and post extension that includes 3 nights in Oxford, a visit to Highclere Castle, high tea, breakfast, and other inclusions, and guess what? It's a $13,000 value, wow. 13 grand, and we're giving one away.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me, Mark. So to win this amazing trip of a lifetime, all you have to do is visit the Windy City Live Facebook page and enter. I can't wait to see who's going to win this one.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, after the break, an update to find out how the people...